Where did the Santa Claus came from? And what about Christmas trees? Where did they came from? In this video I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about Christmas. It's not that common knowledge, but actually Christmas comes way back to ancient times, even before religion was a thing. This holiday back in the day was actually the celebration of the winter solstice, which is the shortest day and longest night of the year. But in different regions people celebrated different things. For example, in Rome, Saturnalia was held around December 17, honoring Saturn, the god of agriculture. During this festival, people exchanged gifts and temporarily reversed social roles, allowing slaves to become masters for a day. Tell me in the comments if you already knew this, because it was a surprise for me. In Scandinavia, the Norse celebrated Yule, a festival that lasted 12 days in late December. Yule was a time of celebrating and honoring Odin, among other gods. Yule logs were burned, symbolizing the return of the sun's warmth and light. Around the same time, in regions celebrating the winter solstice, people observed the birth of the sun as the day started to lengthen again. Then, around the 4th century, Christianism began to spread across Europe. In the early days of Christianism, the birth of Jesus was not widely celebrated. The exact date of Christ's birth remained uncertain. It wasn't until the 4th century that Pope Julius I chose December 25th to celebrate the birth of Jesus. This date aligned with existing pagan festivals, which was probably to incorporate familiar traditions that already existed. But do you know what happens also in the 4th century? It began the whole story of Santa Claus. Back in the day, there was a Turkish bishop named Nicholas. On December 6th, he would give presents to the children who behaved well, and for those who didn't, he wouldn't give anything. I think he also said that if you don't subscribe to my channel, you don't get gifts as well. Better safe than sorry. When he passed away, that day began to be known as St. Nicholas Day. 1,500 years later, a professor named Clement Clark Moore in 1822 reimagined the story of St. Nicholas and made a poem titled The Night Before Christmas and named him Santa Claus. The story talked about Santa who would arrive in his reindeer and would go down in the chimney on New Christmas Eve to spread good cheer and give presents. And what about his looks? Where did that come from? Well, for a few years people tried to guess his appearance based on Clement's story, until he finally drew what he had visioned for Santa Claus, and that's exactly what we know today as Santa. And for the last fact about Christmas, do you know why we put trees inside for Christmas? Well, it first started as a symbol of life and the lit fireplace as a promise of good fortune. Later, with the growth of Christianism, those trees started to be decorated with apples because of Adam and Eve. As years went by, those apples started to become ornaments. But the story of Halloween is way scarier and has a lot more details. So go watch that video and then you can say, "Now I know."